This video is about the gallery in Procreate, specifically creating artboards, organizing stacks, and resizing your canvas. Your gallery looks pretty simple at first glance, but one of the things that we need to go over first is if you click on the actual word Procreate in the upper left corner. It'll pull up some basic information as well as which version you have. I recommend you keep an eye on that so you make sure that your version is in the most current updated form. In the upper right, we have several options, including Select, Import Photo, and a plus sign, but we're going to look at Select for a second. In the Select UI, you'll notice the bar at the top turns blue, and you can check off individual artboards in your gallery. You can also select an artboard and duplicate it, or duplicate multiple and infinitely increase the number of artboards that you have. You can also select and delete artboards, but keep in mind that deletion is permanent, you can't get it back. If you've selected multiple artworks or canvases, you can stack them by hitting the stack button in the upper right. It only becomes useful once you have multiple selected, and you can compress pieces into one singular pile. As you can see, I have mine sorted into animation, figures, and landscapes, although they aren't labeled. You can also delete entire stacks if you want to, but be careful. Always be aware of what you have in your stacks. Next, we're going to talk about the Import button in the upper right. If you select that, it'll pull up your documents or your iCloud, whichever one you have it assigned to. You can select different files such as brush packs and import them directly into Procreate for your own use. Next to import is the photo button. If you click this, then your camera roll will come up and you can select a photo on which to begin your artwork. It'll set it essentially as a background for you to work on. Then you can paint on it, erase it, smudge it, whatever you'd like to do to that photo. The most important button, however, is that little plus button in the upper right. You should have some presets there and you can see the measurements, but usually what we're going to do is we're going to create a custom size in the upper right there. If you select Custom Canvas, you'll get a UI that looks an awful lot like this, starting with dimensions. You can set your unit individually, and you can make your artboard whatever size you like, but be careful. The artboard size and the DPI, or dots per inch, affects the number of maximum layers. A good number of layers to shoot for is at least 30. We also have color profiles, time-lapse settings, and canvas properties. You don't have to worry about these as much unless you really start getting into Procreate, but dimensions are the most important thing here. And then you hit Create and your canvas is complete. In the upper left, we have a wrench for our action panel, and that second panel in the action panel is for your canvas. Here you can resize and crop your canvas even more. So once you have your dimensions set, it's not ironclad. You can change things still, and if you're short on layers, you can make some more by making your canvas smaller than it was. The change in layers will be displayed at the top of the screen. In the canvas panel and actions, you can also flip your canvas horizontally and vertically. This will become important later, but you at least need to know where those options are. And at the bottom, we have canvas information. The information is all surface level, and mostly it's for me. Dimensions, layers, color profile, video settings, and statistics. It includes everything that you have done to this actual file, and it'll come in handy later, especially for me when I'm grading it. You can also insert a photo onto an artboard that's already been made, rather than spawning it from the photo from the gallery. Select a photo, it will place it on the artboard. Sizes will vary, but usually it tries to get it edge to edge on your artboard. Then you can resize it, change the dimensions, and get to work on it should you choose to. This is a good way to have a reference next to what you're drawing, or if you're having to trace something for practice. You can also insert a file if you have something saved on your computer, such as an image. Pretty much the same thing as inserting a photo. The share option in the actions panel is really important to us. Whenever you go to turn something in, I recommend you get in there. You should recognize a lot of the file types you see and turn in whichever one coordinates to the project that we're working on. Always pay attention to that.